Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on when and where you're viewing this. My name is Mike. I am the Crypto Liberal. Thanks for joining me today. Hey, give me a like, give me a subscribe, pause the video, pause it. We got some amazing content ready for you today. Pause the video, take a breath, right? Give me a like, give me a subscribe, give me some love, give me a comment. Tell me what you're up to today. Tell me what you're seeing in the market, and let's get after it, right? Okay, so today, again, we're doing nothing in the stock market, in the crypto market. We're doing nothing. So let's start with the stock market today, right? Stock market, I didn't do much today. So the Nasdaq was down 0.7, Dow 0.8, the S&P up or down 1%, and the DXY, up to 102.54. So that means, that's down a little bit. Crypto kind of just staying flat. But I've got a couple things to keep an eye out over the next few days. The first is that DXY. We went up to the DXY. We went up to 102. We went up to 105, right? I think if you go here and we look at like the 1 month chart, we were up to 105. Yeah, 105 exactly. And we've been down to 101.4. So I think, right, we're at 105. We got rejected, went down to 101.5, and now we're moving back up to test those resistance support levels. And I think, in my opinion, not financial advice, we're about to get rejected again. We're about to start going back down. We're about to maybe revisit 100. And I think that's the level, just below 100. I think that's where we're going to ultimately end up here in the next few weeks, maybe, or if not a month or so. Just my opinion. But if that happens, keep an eye open for that. We're at 102.5. See if we start sliding back down. But I watch for that, because if that happens, it'll be awesome for Bitcoin. It'll be awesome for crypto. That's the first thing. The second thing to watch out for is CPI numbers. So let's look at these real quick. Sorry, you get to see some pictures of my family up there. But let's look at this real quick. So here's the CPI numbers from the last few months here. So if you look back at this April line, the middle line here, the actual number came in at 8.3 year over year, right? So inflation was 8.3. But if you can see, the expectation, the consensus expectation was 8.1. The forecast of this specific group, it was 8.2. Well, right now everybody's in line for 8.3. You can see that right along the bottom. The previous was 8.3, but the consensus is 8.3. This group is expecting to be at 8.3. And these numbers come out on Friday before the stock market opens, early Friday. So, right, I don't do what everybody else does. Right? I think you probably maybe learned that on this channel. If everybody's expecting something, I kind of go against that. So I'm thinking, and I could be wrong, and I've been wrong before, but I'm thinking 8.3 is a little high, in my opinion. I'm thinking we come in below that. So an 8.2, 8.1, 8.0. If we're lucky, there'll be a 7 before that number, 7.9, right? And we're for extremely lucky. And if that were to happen, particularly on the lower end of that spectrum, maybe like an 8.1 or 8.0, I think the stock market, first of all, will go up, right? Because that will signal, if we can finish 8.1 or 8.0, 8.0, I think the stock market, it'll signal to the stock market, first of all, that inflation's coming down faster than the stock market expects it to. And if that happens, right, that will be a signal to the Fed that maybe there's an end in sight, there's light at the end of the tunnel, that we don't have to raise rates quite as fast as expected. Now, they're going to raise rates next week, 0.5, 50 bips. They're going to raise it next week, 50 bips. And they're going to raise it next month, 50 bips. Those are baked in. I've been saying that on this channel for a while now. It's baked in. It's going to happen. Expect 50 bips. But when you start looking at the what's actually happening in the economy, like for example, Target and other retailers, they have just a huge excess, a surplus of inventory that they didn't expect. So what's the only way they're going to get rid of that inventory? They just have this huge influx of inventory somehow. I don't, Target's one of the best retailers in the world. How do they have such a huge surplus of inventory? It's because the economy is slowing down. People aren't buying as fast as they have in the past. And how's Target going to get rid of that inventory? The only way Target gets rid of that inventory is by reducing the prices. And if they reduce prices, inflation goes down. So I think in the next, and starting on Friday, I expect to come in but below that 8.3. We'll see if I'm right. If it's higher, we might be in trouble. But I think we're going to come in below that 8.3. And in the next few months, when you start seeing things out of the economy like the the higher inventory, and the fact that the Fed has been increasing rates and the mortgage rates are starting to increase, right? The economy is slowing down, and that is gonna reduce inflation. And I think it's gonna maybe come down faster than people expect. So they're expecting 8.3 this month on Friday. We'll see. We'll see if I'm right. We'll see. I've been right more than I'm wrong so far, right? So give me a like, give me a subscribe, give me a love, give me some love, give me a comment if you appreciate how right I've been in helping you, with your analysis of the markets. So that's kind of where we are in the stock market. But it also, obviously, those two things, the DXY and the CPI number, are going to impact crypto greatly. So DXY goes down, inflation comes down faster than expected. Expect crypto, expect Bitcoin, expect ADA to go up. Okay, so let's get to the crypto market, Bitcoin specifically. We'll start with, right? So what are we at right now? 30,300. Kind of looks like where we're at right now. And I'm not going to make you watch these videos again, right? But I told you again, way back here. Yeah, come on, way back here on May 11th. So right there. Before we got down to that line, before we got down to my red support line there that I've drawn, I said we're not going to go below that line. That's my ultimate support line. And if you've been with me on this channel since I started 5 weeks ago, that support line comes from over a year ago, well over a year ago, like 18 months ago. So we're in a descending channel, and I told you about this descending channel 5 weeks ago, pretty much, and we held it perfectly. Look at that. I told you about it on May 11th before we even got down to it. We wicked below it. Look at that big wick below it, but we closed on top of it. And look at that. It held perfectly. We closed on top of it here. We wicked down to it here. And now we started moving up above it, right? And so what happened when we started moving above it? Back here. I told you the level to watch out for before we even got there. On this day, on May 30th, I told you, go back and watch the video. When it was below that line, that blue line, I said, that's the line we need to close above, 31.3. I said we need to close above it and hold above it for 4, 5, 6, 7 days. Look at this. Look how perfect this is. The next day, what happened? On May 31st, look at that. We wicked down to it. We wicked down to 31.3 perfectly and closed above it. And then June 1st, right, we couldn't hold it. And we went down pretty significantly below it. But look at this. How perfect is that 31.3 level I've been telling you about? It closed like right on top of it, on June 6th. And we haven't been able to get above it yet. So again, if you appreciate these levels that I'm giving you, give me a like, give me a subscribe, give me some love, give me a comment. Tell me what you're looking at. So again, there's two ways I see us getting above 31.3. Either we get above it and hold it for 5, 6, 7 days. We get above it, we close on top of it, we go a little bit higher, we wick down and touch it, but we stay above it for 5, 6, 7 days. And then if that happens, we'll talk about that in a second. Or we get above 31.3 by like a 10% green candle that comes out of nowhere. Just one day we go from 30,000 where we're at right now to 33,000. And I'm starting to think maybe it's the latter, whereas like the past 7 days, I've kind of been saying it's the former. We'll see. But one of two ways that will happen. But I think that's going to happen. Here's my prediction, right? And I could be wrong. Do not, I'm going to get on camera for this. look you in the eye, right? Look me in the eyes. Do not rely on this for your financial decisions, right? I'm just one person on YouTube making predictions based on my experience and reading of the charts, and I could be completely off base. So don't make decisions on this, please. So I'm just giving you my thoughts, my plan of attack. But I think we're going to surpass 31.3 in one of those two ways that I told you about. And if that happens in one of those two ways, either we get above it and hold above it for 5, 6, 7 days, or we go up to 33,000 on one big green candle, I think we go to 37,000. Now, I want to make this clear. We're not going to go to 37,000 in 2 days. I mean, we could, but I don't think that's what's going to happen. It might not be a week. It might not be 2 weeks. It might not be a month. But I think that would be our next stop, 37,000, my opinion. And last sort of prediction, I think if we get above 31.3 in one of those two ways, we're going to go to 37,000 before we get down to my support line down here ever again, right? So this, obviously this gets dragged out. I mean, if on end of July, it could be at 25,000, right? So I think basically 37,000 before that red support line. And once we get to 37,000, we'll have to revisit, we'll have to re-examine everything and see what's happening, because it is possible we get to 37,000 and come back down and visit that support line, which, at the end of July is at 25,000. Or we could go right past 37,000 and visit the upper resistance line that I've drawn for you and shown you, because we're in a descending channel that goes back well over a year, and I've shown you this, right? And it's held perfectly so far. And so we could go right past 37,000 and visit that line, and then maybe come back down to that support line. Or we break right through that upper resistance line in the descending channel and visit all-time highs. But those are things you have to look at as we move up. But one thing, and I'm going to, so even if we come down and visit this support line, say, it's way over here at 25,000, right? It's possible. But I'm going to say this, and I've said this a million times on this channel, not a million, but a lot. I don't think we're going to go down to 20,000 and then just move up to new all-time highs. How many people on crypto Twitter, crypto YouTube have told you that? We have to go down to the 200-week moving average, which is at 21, 22,000, whatever it is. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to go down there, hit it, everybody's going to buy, and then it's going to move up to 200,000. We're going to go at all new all-time highs. Everybody's going to be rich beyond their wildest dreams. We're all going to make love under the stars and have babies. Whatever, right? That's not the way this works. That's not going to happen, right? We're not going to go down to 20,000, where I can't even get it on the chart. It's that low, right? But we're not going to go down to 20,000 so everybody can buy in at the levels they want. Literally, I think 80% of the people that I kind of watch or follow, or they talk about this 200-week moving average, and that's where we're going to go to, and it has to happen. The big money will not let that happen. The big money will not let the majority be right. Why would they? Why would they let you, the majority, buy in at the price they want and then sell at the price they want? That's not the way this works. So one of two things will happen. We never go down to that level. We never go down to the weekly moving average. We never go down to 20, 21, 22,000. Option number one. Or option number two, we go down to those levels and we hang out there for a week, 2 weeks, a month. Everybody buys in. Oh, this is awesome. We're going to be rich. We're going to make love under the stars and have babies. And then they crash it and they send it to 15,000 and 14,000 and 12,000. So everybody thinks about all the babies they just lost, right? So those are the two options. We never go down to those levels, or we get just brutalized and go down to 12,000 or something like that, right? Which do you think? Think about it from your perspective. Which do you think is more realistic in today's crypto market, when a new ETF just opened in Australia, right? I think I read that somewhere. There's ETFs in Canada and ETFs coming in the United States. They're allowing you to put Bitcoin into your 401k. Which do you think is more realistic? We go up right? We go up, and we never revisit 20K, or we get brutalized and go to 12K. Because what I'm 95% sure is not going to happen is we're not going to go to 20, 21, 22K. Everybody buys in, and everybody, and then we all get rich and make love under the stars and have babies. Right? Okay, so that's my spiel. I've given that several times. So let's talk some Cardano. Cardano. Well, first of all, let's look at the chart. First of all, let's look at some of these news items that I'm bringing up on Cardano. So, for example, you all know what Grayscale is, right? Grayscale has these trusts where they hold crypto for their trustees, or however it works. So you buy shares of the trust, and Grayscale holds, like, for example, Bitcoin. They have a Bitcoin trust. Grayscale holds the Bitcoin in a trust. They secure the Bitcoin. They hold it for its members, and you can buy shares of the trust. And they have one for Ethereum. And they're trying to turn those into ETFs, with no success yet, at least in the United States, right? Well, they also have this other trust called, let me bring it up. They call it their Smart Contract Platform X Ethereum Fund, meaning they don't have Ethereum in this fund, but they have cryptos that have smart contract capabilities. And the fund component per share as of June 6th looks like this. What makes up 32% of their fund? Cardano. Their next highest is Solana at 21%. Now, I'm wondering if that will continue, their Solana share, but 32% in Cardano. 32% in Cardano. Does that give you a vote of confidence in Cardano, in what they're building, in what they're doing, in the smart contracts on their platform? That's a huge vote of confidence. Huge. The biggest trust, the biggest kind of ETF-like fund in the United States, in their smart contract fund, has 32% in Cardano. I know. Granted, there's no Ethereum in there. It's an Ethereum-less fund, because they have their own Ethereum fund, right? But that's a huge vote of confidence. That's the first thing. Then look at this. So today is World Oceans Day, right? Now, I'm obviously crypto liberal, right? And so I appreciate, the little guy, justice and equality and protecting our environment, which was one of the things that brought me to Cardano, right? The sustainability of its proof of staking platform is one of the things that drew me to the Cardano community. Over, I don't think it's as bad as they claim it is in Bitcoin, but Cardano is much better. Anyway, so it's World Oceans Day, and I thought this was awesome, right? There's various projects that seek to protect the world's oceans that are built on Cardano. So, for example, Cardolphins. They donate 5 ADA per Cardolphin from their Dolphin project, and 1% of all their NFT royalties to plant trees per the Cardano NFT minted. So they plant a tree for each Cardano NFT minted. Why Cardano? Well, they say it's because of its energy efficiency and eco-friendliness, like me, right? Or how about Tails, which is a stake pool? 50% of its block rewards go to the Coral Restoration Foundation and to Sea Shepherd to return corals to the wild from their coral nurseries. Or how about Ecoland's Cardano NFT? They donate their profits to deploy 5 coral reef habitats with the Real Life 911 and also help plant 12,000 trees. Why Cardano, you may ask? Well, because it's eco-friendly due to its proof of stake mechanism. It's more decentralized, made by the community, and low transaction fees. Or how about the cool initiative Cardano NFT Trash project, which takes unwanted Cardano NFTs from the NFT community to clean up trash from our oceans. Over 90% of all donated NFT transactions in ADA go to ocean cleaning charities. Now, how cool is that? How cool is that? Now, I've told you this several times on this stream, right? Um, you want to find a girlfriend or a boyfriend, however, whatever which way you turn, right? That doesn't just lie there. Bitcoin just lies there to me. Bitcoin just lies there. But instead of somebody that just lies there, a girlfriend, boyfriend that just lies there, don't you want somebody that seeks to improve, adapt, experiment, get better at what they do? Cardano and Ethereum are constantly improving. They're constantly looking to improve. They're constantly asking what they can do better. They don't just lie there. They adapt. They experiment. Ethereum is going to proof of stake here in a few months. And means, right, that they'll be eco-friendly here in a few months. Well, way more eco-friendly than Bitcoin. They with Cardano having the Vassal hard fork here in less than like 3 weeks, right? They're greatly increasing their scalability in 3 weeks. And I know there are DeFi projects that are just waiting for Cardano to pass that Vassal hard fork goal line so they can start building on Cardano. So those two platforms, their whole ethos is improving, experimenting, getting better. That's the kind of girlfriend, boyfriend I want. I don't want one who just lies there. And speaking of projects on Cardano, look at this. For the first time ever, over 1,000 projects are currently building on Cardano. For the first time. Look at that. 1,000. Cardano is exploding. Literally exploding in activity. Is it any wonder that it's gone up in these past few weeks? That it's my number one holding? Give me a like, give me a subscribe, give me some love, give me a comment if you like this, because what we're about to talk about is a huge win for our community if you're following along with me. So a week ago, right, I told you we got to bring up the ADA BTC chart. ADA BTC. And we got to do the Coinbase chart and put it on the weekly, right? Okay. So how is this looking? Look at that. Look at how we busted that resistance right there. That last green candle. Now, I told you about this before we had busted that resistance line. I told you about it back here last week sometime. So this is the ADA BTC chart. So I told you about it when one ADA was worth 0.000019 Bitcoin. And now, right, it's at 0.00002147 Bitcoin. And I tweeted this out earlier today. You know what that is? That's more than a 13% increase in a week. The stock market is going sideways, going down, doing nothing. Crypto is going sideways, going down, doing nothing. There's really one platform, one protocol that I found the chart. I told you it was the most bullish chart in crypto a week ago, and it's up more than 13% in a week. Meaning, if you had listened, if you had taken my non-financial advice, right, a week ago and taking one Bitcoin, just say one Bitcoin, and put it in Cardano a week ago, that one Bitcoin today would be worth 1.13 something Bitcoin. You would have increased your sats by more than 13%. If you appreciate that, if you appreciate these things I'm bringing to you, give me a like, give me a subscribe, give me some love, give me a comment, give me something, right? Now, I can't tell you, I started drawing some lines on here to give us some reference as we move up, because this is far from over, I think. And I can't tell you, right, because that chart is the ADA BTC chart, I can't tell you, well, you might want to start thinking maybe about taking some profits at 74 cents, because it's the ADA BTC chart. So I will do that in the future. I'm planning on doing that, looking at the ADA USD chart so we can look at some resistance lines. I know one, me personally, I know one's at like 79 cents that I'm kind of keeping track of. So, use that if you're wondering, 79 cents. But I started putting some lines on here for when, maybe when we want to start taking some profit on the ADA BTC chart. And so I drew one right here. So this 0.00002585, that first blue line there, the lower blue line, right? Look at it. You can see it served at that area served as resistance on April 11th of this year, but it served as support in December of last year, right? So that's kind of the first level I'm kind of keeping an eye on the ADA BTC chart. Doesn't mean that's where I'm taking profits, because I'm not. Because I honestly think we're going much higher on ADA BTC. And here, let me give you just a frame of reference. So on this chart, right, I started telling you about it at 0.000019 Bitcoin, right? Down here somewhere. Now, I'm thinking in my heart of hearts, and this isn't going to happen anytime soon, but eventually we're going to make it up to this 0.00006, over 6. And what does that mean? It means you could triple your sats if we made it to that level. Now, again, do not invest on my advice. Do your own research. Figure out what makes most sense for you and in your portfolio. But that's kind of my target, right? I'm looking to triple what the ADA compared to Bitcoin in the next several months, if not, 6 months to a year. And so, 0.19, let's just say 0.2 for ease of reference, 0.2 sats could turn into 0.6 sats, or 2 Bitcoin could turn into 6 Bitcoin. I think that sounds pretty good. That sounds pretty good to me. So if you like that content, give me a like, give me a subscribe, give me some love, give me something, right? Now, the other thing I wanted to point out here is, like, for 5 weeks, right? I started this channel 5 weeks ago. And one of the driving factors, well, first was to combat the FUD, but the biggest driving factor was to dispel some of these wild rumors going around that investing in Cardano and Ethereum at this point is hazardous to your health. And nothing has been proven further from the truth, right? I told you new money that you invest in Cardano today will outperform any new money you put in Ethereum and Bitcoin today by the end of the year. I didn't say by now, but it's working out that way. I said by the end of the year, a year from now, and 5 years from now, new money put into Cardano today will outperform Ethereum and Bitcoin. And I also said new money put into Cardano and Ethereum today will outperform Bitcoin, by the end of the year, a year from now, 5 years from now. Well, how's that working so far? Well, check this out. This is beautiful. Look at that. ADA is the only one. Now, we've done this for 5 weeks, $100 each week into each of these. And I've done it on screen, on my streams. And I've done it on my Twitter. And I've showed you each level we're buying. $100 for 5 weeks. So we put $500 into each of these. And ADA is at 567. It's the only one in profit. Bitcoin, slightly down at 496. Ethereum is way behind at 447. So we need to do something to get Ethereum caught up. But, I haven't found anything on Ethereum. That's why I haven't brought it. I haven't discussed Ethereum on the channel here, really, because I look at their chart and I just can't see anything, right? I haven't seen anything that tells me, hey, this is about to scream. It's a screaming buy. Whereas ADA, right? I told you a week ago, this is a screaming buy. Get in now. And 13, 14% later, looking pretty good. So if you appreciate that, right? I didn't tell you I didn't just choose them both willy-nilly and say go buy Ethereum. I still think Ethereum is going to outperform Bitcoin by the end of the year. I still think Ethereum is going to have its day in the sun. I'll keep an eye open on the chart and try to find it, when I think it's going to happen. But that's why I brought Cardano to the channel, because I saw that chart and I thought most bullish chart in crypto. And it's worked out that way so far, right? Working out pretty good. So keep an eye open. For those things that I brought up to you today, DXY, and was there anything else I wanted to discuss in this? I want to make sure. I don't think so. So yeah, let's kind of bring it to a wrap today. So keep an eye open the DXY for the next couple days. Keep an eye open on the CPI numbers. 8.3 is expected. I'm expecting lower. We'll see if that comes to fruition. It'll probably be right at 8.3. People a lot smarter than me have those numbers and think that's what's going to happen. But I'm thinking 8.1, 8.0 if we're lucky. Dream world 7.9. I think Bitcoin 37 before we revisit my support line. We'll see if that happens, but we need to get past 31.3 first. And ADA's in a world of its own. ADA's just going to keep going. ADA is the girlfriend or boyfriend who doesn't just lie there. And same with Ethereum, but it's lying there lately. So we'll see if we can get some Ethereum going for us all. Okay. That's all I have today. I love you all. Thanks for watching. Give me a like, give me a subscribe, give me a follow, give me some, comments, give me, hit that bell notification so you know when I'm putting these videos out. Follow me on Twitter.